Hello everyone, welcome. We have another What's New in Intune EDU. Intune for Education is always growing and adapting to our partners' needs, to our customers' needs, and we have two big updates to share that just got released in June. If you're watching this video, I am publishing it in July, so I'm already late. I apologize. I took last week off and got a little bit behind, but want to make sure that you're aware of what's new, exciting, different inside of the Intune for Education dashboard. Let's get started. So linked inside of the description for this video is the What's New in Intune for Education Microsoft Docs page. This is updated every time we release one of these, so it's a running thread where you can go and see what came out in April, December, November, and months and years past. So you can watch the journey of how Intune for Education has really grown. But for today's conversation, the purpose you probably clicked on this video is what's new in June 2020. So in June 2020, there are two big updates. One being accessibility and performance improvements. And we'll look at what these settings actually look like inside of the dashboard. But the first one is going to be accessibility, how you navigate to groups in order to make changes inside of your dashboard has changed a little bit. This is to make it easier for folks who have to do screen readers or Zoom or other tools to make their experience more accessible. So a couple changes there. And then probably my most favorite release of all time is the ability to configure a time zone on your Windows devices remotely. This has been a huge issue on a lot of deployments, whether you're working with a small school or a large school. If you're using Setup School PC, that's great because you can configure the time zone there. Otherwise, a lot of folks are having to push like a PowerShell script, right? Not what we think of when we think of Intune for Education, pushing a PowerShell script. So the ability to use a drop down to select the time zone is just amazing, fantastic, and people were really wanting it, so very excited to announce. Let's take a look inside of Intune for Education, and I'll show you exactly what these changes look like. These are live, so if you go into your Intune for Education dashboard, that's intuneeducation.portal.azure.com, you're going to see these same changes. So we're going to drill into our groups, and now you'll see that there's a little bit of a different setup here. The user interface has changed. We're going to dig into our all devices group, and again, you're noticing some changes. These were for accessibility to make sure that all folks can use and navigate our products. And inside of all groups, we can look at devices, users. This is where we would go to control apps. This is where we would go to control settings, manage who the admins are for each group, and then see the group history. A lot of this used to be displayed across the top. Now you're seeing it on the side. And we want to show the time zone settings specifically. So I'm going to select Windows device settings. And this is going to populate all of the Windows device settings for that group that we selected. I can expand those just like any other time. That hasn't changed. I'm going to go to user experience. And in user experience, I now see configure time zone. So here we go, configure time zone. And I can select the time zone of my choice. And even better, there is search built into it. Small change. Big reaction from me on being able to set the time zone, and I'm sure many of your customers, this will be something that just relieves some of the additional things that you do when you're deploying devices. So simplified interface in order to make it more accessible, and time zone settings. Those are the June 2020 updates. If you have any feedback on how to make Intune for Education better, features you need, features you want gone, buttons you want turned on, buttons you want turned off, what do you like about the user interface, what don't you like, what could be different, please, if you are an IT administrator of a school tuned into this video, comment and share what your thoughts and feedback are. And of course, to our partners, the main audience of this channel. You, in many ways, are the voice of Microsoft with your customers. So what are the feedback that you're hearing from your customers? And what is your own feedback to us having used this product and maybe some others out there? And what we can do better. So please, we always are growing Intune for Education. That's why we have these updates. It's why we're taking in feedback, acting on the feedback in order to make it better, more accessible, more feature rich, but also make sure that we have a user interface that makes sense for our IT admins. So I want to thank everyone for tuning into this video and getting the latest and greatest. Please comment with feedback. That allows us to get better. Also comment if there's things you want to learn more about. I know our segment on cloud management gateways has kind of gotten a lot of traffic. So if there's other topics like that, we'll bring in experts in order to give you a little bit of knowledge while you're surfing the internet. So thank you so much. Have a fantastic day, a fantastic week. Thank you for what you do for our teachers and our students in order to make sure that they're having improved learning outcomes, saving teachers time, and making sure that this whole technology, this technology revolution, this tech intensity is not being blocked by any tech or IT issues. So thank you so much for all that you do on a daily basis. Thank you for tuning in. Oh yeah, and like and subscribe, of course.